everyone. Let me just remove the overlay. And hey, how's it going? You don't have a good background setup. Okay, yeah, this looks like a Global Hack Week background. Hi everyone, how's it going? How's Global Hack Week going for you all? I have been back at Global Hack Week after a long time. I think it's been two Global Hack Weeks that I've missed, and I don't like that. Um, Afternoon all. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're joining from. I am about to lose some natural light, so I think I'll have to set up another light in a couple of minutes because it's around 6:30 p.m. here, and then I think sometime you won't be able to see my face, so I'll have to set up something else right now. But hey, how's it going? How are you liking Global Hack Week? Before you all start, let me just tell I've not been able to catch up to Global Hack Week yet. I am really excited to get back to all of the streams and watch other coaches as well. And with that, hi, I'm Deekshita. I'm one of the coaches with Major League Hacking, and I have been a game developer for over 5 years. But then I shifted to corporate, and I basically joined the Android world. So I love game development and I love Global Hack Week games, but it's been a while that I have built a game. So this Global Hack Week, we both, like me and all of you, will be sitting together and building a game from scratch, and there might be a lot of things which I may have forgotten. So just a heads up, this is something where we all will learn together, and I hope we enjoy this set of streams. So this is the part one of game development in Unity 101. We have two more streams after this. Hey, good evening. Hello, everyone. Hi, Krish. How's it going? Okay, so I'll give you a couple of minutes. Let me know how Global Hack Week is going for you. Is this your first Global Hack Week, or you've been attending a lot of them, and I'm the only one who's missing out? Let me know how's it going. Okay, meanwhile, you all start to answer. I'll give a heads up of first of all, here's the check in link. If you missed it, I will post it here again in the chat. And apart from that, in case you're trying to follow along, you would need Unity in your system. So I'll send a link of Unity Hub. Just a second. So if you go to unity.com/download, this is where you can install Unity from. Let me come back to StreamYard. Great, this is my first hackathon and I've never developed games before. Trust me, you're going to have a lot of fun. And this is going to be really easy, something which a beginner can do because I think it's almost been 10 months that I've not built a game. So I kind of feel like a beginner myself now. So yeah, we'll learn and build and share together. Just give me 1 minute, folks. I'll have to turn off my camera and probably set up a light because I'm using natural light right now. But before I go ahead and do that, let me show you how do we install Unity. So I just shared the link, right? So if you go to unity.com/download, which is this link here, this is the page that you go to and you see a download for Windows option. Now I am someone who's using a Windows laptop for game development. That's something I prefer. I have a gaming laptop, so I know this one's gonna work no matter what. I don't want to slow down my MacBook for this. Um, so yeah, basically, if you are a student, that's amazing. Get a student license, and you'll get a lot of more things, a lot of more assets for free, which I don't get anymore. Um, and yeah, basically, you can start with a 30-day trial, or you can just download the basic Unity Hub. So if you go to download for Windows and it starts a download, and I'm going to stop it right now because I already have Unity Hub set up and it's not stopping. Okay. Yes, it's cancelled now. So, in case you are following along for the first time and in case you're just starting, make sure that you go to this link and download Unity Hub and just give me 1 second and turn on another light. Okay, I hope this looks better. Yes, it looks much better. Yes, we're back. Okay, so is anybody installing Unity right now? Just give me a heads up in the chat whenever you want me to slow down or explain anything again. Because this can be something if you're building for the first time, it could be tricky, it could be something new. So I want you all to understand and explore. We're gonna make something very simple, and we have 3 streams to cover that. So we'll go from right into basics and understand everything all together. Okay, so let me go to Unity Hub and show how it looks. Cool. So I'm just gonna present this screen. So this is how the basic Unity Hub looks like. Like I said, my last project was around 10 months ago. And this game Cars was actually something which was built in the last Global Hack Week Games, which happened in May, and where I streamed again building a game from scratch in Unity. I have a question on game development. Can ask, of course. Please keep asking as many questions as you can, so that I would know that you are able to understand and interact with me. Um, let's create a new project. Okay, my student license has ended. Uh, I need a free personal license. If we create a game and later need to convert the game OS to Android, do we have to redesign the entire game to a smaller size and the graphic quality is also different? Yes, so basically, if you are building something which you know you want to reutilize later and convert it to Android, when you start building it, you have to make sure that you keep those things in account. Let's say when you do player inputs. So if you're building just for Windows, you wouldn't care about the keys and whatever sort of input you're using. But if you are wishing that this can be converted to other platforms, at that point you will use tools or you will use functions which are compatible for both Android as well as Windows as well as iOS. So basically, when you create that game in the start, you have to make it with a mindset where it does not create a problem later in the future. I hope that makes sense. Let me just get a free license. Uh, I miss being a student now. I had a free license for everything, and I don't anymore. Is anybody following along? Are you also trying to install Unity, set up a license or something? just try to go to the license menu directly. Manage license. Refresh. Let's just sign in. Get a free personal license. Okay, we have a free personal license till April 2024. Okay, we are surviving for now. And let's begin with a new project. Okay, let me know whenever I need to slow down because you all are following along. So there are multiple versions of Unity. I still love the basic 2019 version because that's where I started game development, and that's the version I know very well. 2021 version and later kept slowing my laptop down. So I'm still gonna try. No, I think I should move to 2021 because a lot of assets will not work in 2019. So we'll go for 2021 version. Now I have two editor versions installed because this was something which I did for a freelance project where I needed different editors. But just install the latest LTS. That's the least stable. That's the latest stable system or version which you can use. So I'm going to use the one which I already had in my system, which is really old. It's 3 years old now. Oh my god, and we're gonna name this project. Okay, so this was something which I thought would be fun. Last time I built a game where we moved a car around a platform and collected points. Um, but this time I wanted to keep it more open ended. I'm not exactly sure which game do I really want to go for. I have a couple of ideas up on top of my head, but I would want you all to suggest what game should we develop in this um, particular series of learning Unity. We have to install Unity Editor. Yes, you'll have to install Unity Editor, otherwise it would not work. So these are the two things that you'll have to install: Unity Hub, then add an editor, which can be a lengthy process. So till the time being, I'll just be explaining the basics of Unity, and you all can complete that installation alongside. I hope that sounds fine. So this will, what should we name the project? For now, I'll just name it Global Activate Games 101. But I want you all to let me know what game do you want to build. We'll all obviously build something which is a very simpler version of whatever you suggest because we have to finish this in around 6 hours, right? Three streams, which are 6 hours. So, but I want to give you the open-endedness, or probably let's say um, a hold of what you want to build. So do suggest if you have any games in your head. What I was thinking is to go for a mock-up of something called as Endless Runner, climbing game. Okay. So I was thinking something like a mock-up of probably Subway Surfers or Temple, are not exactly the same aesthetic, but something like in the concept where a player is running by itself is called an endless runner. Yes, if downloading Unity takes up too much bandwidth, you can follow along later. Unity is something which can slow down your laptop a bit. Just a heads up, and it takes a lot of bandwidth to install. I think Visual Studio or any code editor you have can be used for this, and you do not need .NET. We coded C Sharp, and there's no .NET extension required over there. I think RPG game would be quite a lot for 6 hours. It's not something which can be built that easily. For specifically, this is something which is more beginner friendly, so I wouldn't suggest going for an RPG game. And also the fact that even I have not built in quite a while, so I'm not sure if RPG game would be the way to go. That is something which will require a lot of old knowledge which I don't have. Um, project folder. Okay, let me just figure it out. I will stop the screen for a second. Unity Hub and VS Code works, right? Yes. I think you also need to install the Unity editor. Yes, you need to install the Unity editor after the hub. So I'll just show how do we do that. Okay, right here, once your Unity Hub is installed, go to installs and you can install an editor from here. The recent recommended long-term support version is 2022.3.21. I wouldn't suggest go for 2023 because it's not long-term support and that means it will not work well. I am not sure if my old version is long-term support anymore because it's definitely not able to open it, or probably they've changed the terms and I'm using it after a long while. Let me try and open an old project and see if the problem is with this editor or just in general. Strategy or tower defense? Could you suggest some example of strategy slash tower defense that you have? Okay, let's try and open the project again. I think there's something wrong with 2021 editor. Let's try to create a new project and this time in 2019. Yeah, I really thought that this would have not been a problem because Unity has been installed since forever, but I think they've refreshed their licenses and stuff and it's not opening up. So we need to protect ourselves from enemy waves and create different strategies to block them. C# functions slightly different. Do they run well in VS Code? Yes, they run well in VS Code. It's fine. Um, I used to use Visual Studio, specifically the one which they have with Unity, but It even works well with VS Code, and we're not going to go any more complicated. So it would be fine if you have VS Code installed. You don't need Visual Studio separately. Um, Shubham, I would suggest that we'll probably go with something which is more simpler. VS Community would be better. Yeah, VS Community definitely helps, but VS Code also works. Um, so even though the ideas are really great, but I think if we go along with any of such ideas, it won't be easy to develop them. So I think we'll go with something more basic. I'm trying to at least open one game. It's not working. I think I should restart it and try again. I'm sorry for this, folks. I think it's been quite a while that I've built in it and it's creating an issue. Okay, if you have Unity Hub, then you have to install the Unity editor, and along with which you can use VS Code or Visual Studio Community, any of which works well with Unity. You do not need to install Visual Studio Community if you have VS Code. It will work for this particular stream. But in longer run, when you're building in Unity, I think VS Community is better. Got my student's license. That's great. I can't have student license anymore. I think it's creating an issue because I don't own that license now, and I've always built with a license only. Let me just try again. Enemy shooter game. I think Unity also comes with a template for that. That's a great idea. Today I think we'll start with more something from scratch, and I think in the next stream we can either pick up a template or probably continue building something from the scratch itself. Does that sound okay? Let me see why is Unity being such a pain today. I mean, it's never happened this way. That's created an issue. And the one day when I have to stream, that's the day it won't work. JetBrains Rider is greater than Visual Studio. I haven't used JetBrains Rider actually. Let me present my screen again, and I hope it works this time. So, still waiting for the project to be created. Till the time being, I just try and install another editor. So I will be building for Windows. Maybe Windows build squad, and mostly I build for Android too. Let's agree and continue. And we'll get this installed. Meanwhile, I just build on other installer. Now we hope this project opens up. Okay, so as far as no, I do have Unity 2019. I mean, it shouldn't have been an issue. Otherwise, we'll wait for Unity to be installed with me. This is going to be a long and heavy stream, I know, right? Um, I just hope it gets installed soon. Otherwise, this will be a really long one and won't be that fruitful. I should have checked this before. Okay, till the timing, I'm just trying to browse some pictures and it's the curse of live demos. I know, I mean, it's always worked well with me. It's been 5 years that I've been building games, and this has never happened. How is your PC handling this? My PC is really powerful and it doesn't do anything. I just build games in this one. I have another laptop for rest of my work and my office related work, so I just hope it survives. I think it will download 2022 pretty fast instead, and we can directly use that. I was just trying to probably open something and show the Unity editor till the time being we get this curse to be lifted up. Yeah, it's showing the same issue. I think it will not open it up. Definitely the curse of live demos. I mean, this shouldn't have been an issue. Okay, let's do one thing till the timing. Let's select the theme of the game. So we'll go to assetstore.unity.com, which is basically the place where we select all our assets from. I mean, this is my favorite place to go to for anything that I need when I'm building games. So it has everything. It has free assets, paid assets, sounds, VFX. So let's go to 3D and just look for environments and assets that are going on. I'll just type we have environment subcategory. So basically you have everything here and on pricing I'll just select free assets and there you go. You have free environments all set up whichever you want to use. Um, some of them like fantasy forest, which sounds really nice. There's an apartment in case you're trying to build something else. There's a city outlook which I already own, and that's why it says purchased here. There are roads. This was the one which we used in the last stream. Um, the last time we built a team in Global Hack Week, and there are flooded grounds. What do we think would be something we want to explore around? We have a house back. 3D free modeler. This looks actually really cool. But I still want to select an environment which won't be hard to work with. I hope. Oh, wait. I did not add this to the stage and I was just talking. So, this is the stream. This is what I was talking about. Uh, sorry about that. This is a racetrack which looks cool. We don't want to see the video, but this is a pretty cool environment. If we have this and if we have um, let's say a car, not a car, probably a race car kind of a thing or a go-karting type of car. Yes, I just realized I wasn't presenting it. um, if we want to go for a go-karting type of car, basically the install field. But install failed and we're not able to open the previous projects. I wish this wasn't happening right now. I'm just trying to go about the install process. Okay, Unity Editor is taking forever. It stopped installing for me, and it was working fine before this. I don't know what happened. Okay, so what we can do is imagine this track and a car go karting sort of a car. Let me just try to find something. I hope you can still see the screen. Oh, you found a Sketchfab car asset pack. It will be hard for me to install. Just copy and paste this. I mean, Sketchfab assets can create an issue. I wanted to go for something which is very easy to import in Unity. I want to go for the pricing and the free asset. With price. I don't think any free asset exists here. How can that be possible? Oh, okay, it's flash dates. Now we have three assets. And I mean, there are a lot of cars. You could use this kind of a race car pack. But the problem is we do not have the editor or anything. So it could be that we decide the theme and the game design today, and we go through a proper game development procedure where one day we are deciding the theme, um, the whole design and how it's going to look like, and the next day we keep everything installed and build then. Um, I'm really disappointed with how Unity is acting today. It has never ever been an issue for me to work with Unity, but today when I have to stream it, it would not work. Yeah, that would be great. Okay, so let's probably start with creating a new doc. Okay, cool. So whenever we build games in Unity, the very important aspect is to obviously decide that how complex we want it to be or what the process should be in the beginning. So first of all is theme, then it's the design, implementation. So this is not just in game development, this is something which we do in software engineering as well. Then there is testing for very, very obvious reasons. Um, Implementation, testing, and like there are parts of game developers. Some of them are really great with code, some of them are really great with design. So let's say your theme, your idea involves a lot of levels. So then there's a person who's a level designer. Then we have people from UI, UX, from every basically aspect who will be helping and working this out alongside. So currently, our theme that we just saw might be a racetrack, or for now, just that we're going with. So level design. Now this will involve a lot of screenshots, a lot of pictures, a lot of process ideas. So what I am thinking right now is that we have this particular racetrack. Let me just take a screenshot and insert it here. So currently we're starting with a basic layout design and we'll keep building upon it on what we want. So this could be our environment. Now, generally, if you are building a professional game, you do not pick up an environment from an asset store. There will be a person dedicated who might be making it in Blender and creating the entire design and deciding what the UI UX should be, how, what sort of animations we want, what sort of environment we want to show. There's a whole level of design that goes in there. But since this is something where we use a lot of things pre-made, just a second, because we use a lot of things pre-made. So here we are mentioning things like this is uh, what we are doing, or these are the things that we are using. Okay, and then we are planning to use these cars. So I'll just add a screenshot for them to show this. So this will be now. These are our players. I am writing player right now. It could be multiplayer if we want, but we'll start with a basic single player. But this is how, let's say, a player can choose which car they want or upgrade from one color to another based on the points they have. So this is the player that we have, right? Let me just reduce the size. We don't want it that big right now. Now, implementation and idea would be something where what you want, how the player is supposed to move, what sort of keys you want. Do you want WASD? Do you want an RPG format? Um, do you want a basic phone game? Do you want a Windows game? A lot of things. All the technical aspects of where it's built, where should we start from, how to create it. Everything should be mentioned in implementation, and there's a lot of thought which should be gone through it. And there should be a separate design doc, a separate planning which goes over here. So currently, I'll just again mention the outline, and we'll start building upon it. So the outline is that I want um, camera facing at the back of my player. So we want like a basic car game. We do not want to make it RPG at this time. So just we'll what we'll do is what should I like? A simple racing game. Just a second. Simple racing game through track. We could have basic movements and then obstacles in between, which we could again add obstacles in between. And this could be something where we have a start and finish line. Start and finish line and time evaluation based high score, or uh, damage. Okay, time evaluation based high score. Person loses either cause of damage. Um, is it going to be multiplayer? We'll start with one player first because multiplayer requires setting up a backend in Unity, which can be tricky. Like we've seen how live demos are helping us today. So we'll create a single player and we'll keep it as a scope that in the final stream, if we have time, we'll set up a backend and let two players operate at the same time. So you can actually use two players at the same time. Your voice and name both look like Indian. Do you know? Chalo shuru karte hain. Yes, of course I know. I am Indian. I'm from Bangalore. Um, Actually born and brought up in Delhi. I work in Bangalore right now. Person loses either cause of damage or what they could lose from. Um, let's say if they are not on track for some time or they're cheating or any sort of thing. Currently, we're just keeping that the person will lose if they do not, if they hit. That could be cause of damage, right? So if they hit obstacles, they'll have their health or the, let's say, health of the car reducing, and at one point when it's really low, the car probably burns into flames if they hit other car. That's when it goes multiplayer. So we'll keep this future aspect, hit multiplayer and damage caused if you hit other player. So we can have a local multiplayer where in one system, two people sitting together, one of them can operate from WASD keys and the other one can operate from arrow keys. This multiplayer can be set up without a database. But if you want an online multiplayer game, there's a requirement of database, and that's something which can go tricky. Um, Let me just see if there's any progress in the Unity installation or opening of any of the projects. Nope, nothing yet. So I think this one is where we create the entire design and everything, and probably we'll build the implementation in the next stream only. Um, cool. Let's just get back to the doc and complete the idea. So this one will be the future aspect, and this is the basic one that we'll be having right now. What we can do is we can also add coins or power ups along the way to boost energy. That sounds like the ad boost is the secret of marriage. Okay, rewards. Cool. So any game will first start from a menu screen. Uh, am I stuck? Add function for car drifting. I think we are going a lot ahead, and we have to build a lot of things. So wait a second. I think this is something which we lock for now. Let's not uh, write a lot of things. One really important factor about any sort of software development, any software design, any game development, anything that you build. When you are working on design, think of the feasible options, think of a MVP, and then think of what you want to build on top of it. So that's where you can actually at least build some product. When we want a lot of things in general from a product, in the end you end up not making it well. So start from scratch, build something which is at least a minimum viable product, and then keep building on a lot of things on top of it. So whatever we build in the end of these three streams is not enough. You can build a lot of things on top of it and give a creative aspect of yourself on it. So any game that you have will have a menu screen for sure. Let's just write the screens that will be shown. Menu. Number two is the game scene. Number three will be game over and scoreboard. And let's do score. If it's a multiplayer, then we go for scoreboard. Yes, it will be very advanced live stream if you keep suggesting, and I'm not sure if we'll have that much time to build this. Um, so these are the three screens which we'll have mandatory. Then what other things we need? Music, sound effects, obstacles, visuals, power up designs, content like title, instructions, um, catchy lines in between the game. So this is the process which actually happens when add a card choosing screen. Okay, catchy lines in between the game. So obviously we're not going to do a lot all of these things from scratch, like creating the music, the sound effects. We'll pick up a lot of things, we'll probably leave a lot of things, but this is to show when you are actually deciding the game what all things come in the head, and it's just a rough outline. There's a lot of discussion, a lot of details that you need to go in through for all of these to make sure that you have a unique game which does not, let's say, violate any licenses or cause any issues, because that's something which is very easily easy to happen. There are a lot of games and a lot of people may think that okay, this is a royalty free asset and you use it, or you just building it as a project but then you want to put it on Play Store and it may not be royalty free, and it could cause license issues. So we don't want that. So there's a lot of thing that comes in your head when you are trying to build a game. Currently, we have our theme, our level design, where we just know the environment and the player, but that's really great that we have this already. And then the implementation. Now, I'll also add the links to the environment as well as the player, which I picked it from. This would probably been created in Blender or any other tool where you do 3D modeling. But luckily, we have the asset store, and this is not something which we are trying to publish somewhere. So we can use these assets. In case you ever think of publishing a project on Play Store or just making it a commercial use, make sure that either those are royalty free or you have the licenses to use them professionally or for commercial uses. Otherwise, it's going to be a huge mishap, and we don't want that. So we have the implementation idea, um, the future aspect, the screens that we want to show, and the other things that we may need. Now comes to testing. So for testing, we since this is not a lot of large scale project, we can just do test it ourselves. Otherwise, if we talk about any of the software engineering products, there are a lot of forms. Are we also going to learn how to publish the game? Yes, you. I'll be teaching that as well. There are a lot of ways to publish it, so probably I can cover that today. A little heads up of it, and once we build the game, we can understand how to publish it. Um, so there are multiple forms of testing. If we talk about a proper software engineering product, when we talk about software design testing over there, then there comes one of it is unit tests, which individually will be testing all the scenarios, all the edge cases of the function, and these are the tests that you create. There's this one fun joke that we all have. It doesn't take a lot of time to create the functions, a lot the classes, but if you have created a function or a class in a day, at least give 2 days to yourself to complete unit tests because they are a big pain, but they're very important at the same time. So this is the first clearance of test that you have in any product. Then it could be testing with users, or before that, a local testing where you just check all the features, include log statements so that you know everything is working fine. In Unity, what we'll do is we'll add a lot of logs in our class, in our functions, in between itself, and we'll keep checking those logs while we play the game, so that we have this form of testing already done. Then it's a user based testing. So if you are working in a startup or a product which is just for yourself, you are launching it individually. You can give it to your friends, you can give it to a team of people in your college, and just folks that you know around, and help and just ask them to test it alongside for you. But when we go for an MNC, then we release it to a particular set of audience. First, we test it internally, then we just probably give it to 1% users, 10% users, and based on the response and whatever they have, we keep on providing it to more people. Folks, just give me 1 minute. I think there's the bell. I'll have to just go and attend to that. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, alright, folks. I am back. I think I missed a couple of comments. If I looked at the wrong schedule, thought it started in 5 minutes. The daylight schedule time, right? Yeah, even I thought I was supposed to stream at 7:30 p.m., which would have been better for me because it would be after office hours. But well, we have to stream an hour early. Um, you did not miss the actual code, so we were facing some compile times, not compile time, some Unity issues for which Unity is not even starting, and it's creating a lot of pain for all of us. So we're just working on design, and I don't want to jinx it, but I think Unity editor is almost installed now. So we'll probably try to open it by the end of the stream and give a basic idea of how Unity looks like and probably install these assets inside the scene at least. But fingers crossed, you're just hoping it works fine. Let's get back to this. So yes, I'm sorry there was a parcel. I've been living alone for some time. My flatmates are not home right now, so I had to rush and collect it. Um, and anyway, we do give a 5 minute break after an hour of stream. So I think we were perfectly on time with the parcel guy. Um, so for any software engineering product, there are a bunch of testing scenarios. First of them is unit tests. Then it's called local testing, which is via logs. Then it's user-based testing. So user could be people you know who are interested in games. Just give it to your friends and say that try it out. Let me know what you think about the product. And if you are a team of a startup, just ask them to review it for review your team. Ask your team to review it for you, and then uh, I got to bounce to have some lunch with cashiers later. Great. See you later. Uh, then comes if you are a part of an MNC, we give it to a controlled set of users. So we start with 1%, 5%, 10%, 20%, 100% based on what their response is. Do we want to make changes to the product? Do we want to make changes to the functionality? And roll it out to users. So, for folks who have joined just now, hi, I'm Deekshita Verma. I'm one of the coaches with Major League Hacking, and this stream is actually not for GitHub. It's for game development in Unity, and I think GitHub and Juanpa's stream is happening somewhere else, if I'm not wrong. It's actually the GitHub office hours which are going on in your Discord itself. It's not something which is being streamed here on Twitch. And yeah, thanks. And yeah, that's how basically the testing goes. Let me just go back to Unity and see if it's working. No, it's still installing Android NDK. I hope it works. Cool. So this is a rough idea of how the product development goes when we build games. And I am hoping that Unity gets installed by now. Till the time being, do you all have any questions or any concerns with the speed of how it's been going? I think it's been comparatively slower than what I wanted to, but it gives you a lot of time to understand the idea behind the scenes, because whenever we stream we directly start with building the game. We never talk about software design. So I think it's a great thing that you are seeing a software slash system design thing happening in your life. And probably the course of a live demo is actually beneficial for us so that we can understand more things in detail. Feel free to ask any questions that you have. I am checking Unity. We still have two more steps to be installed. Okay, I think things are clear. or people are exceptionally silent. So it might be that you aren't understanding anything, but I'll take the former and just go ahead. So, publishing a game has different aspects again. So, we'll talk about all OS, Android, Windows, Windows slash Mac. We'll write here together because I think Windows and Mac deployment is not that different. In the end, it's a PC deployment. And then we have iOS. So for Android, you when we select which APK we are building, that's something which we can either do in the beginning itself or we can change it up later. But we have the screen sizes, so you can select which ratio you want to go for. It could be the 16 is to 9 or 9 is to 16. Um, that's just the ratio that you go for while building the game. But when we talk about publishing it, you can there's only one way to publish a game and make it available to everyone. It's Play Store. Do not try to deploy it and share it over Drive to people. That could be um, that will actually could transfer a lot of malwares and it won't be trusted and it's not the best way. But the only way I can think of to publish any game is Play Store, and for that you need a Google Play developer account. I think Google developer or Play developer. I'm not sure what the exact nomenclature is, but it's just that you need to be a registered developer on Google Play Store, and I think it has just one-time fee of approximately $25 to be a developer, not 925, 25 USD. In order to publish it, there's no student benefit over here. For Windows or Mac, there are actually two ways. You could either publish it on web, so that's where the web deployment goes in, or you could directly make it a Windows program or Windows, yeah, we would say a Windows program or a Mac program. So Windows program will be an exe file. I have never deployed in Mac, so I don't know which exact file that one has. And web deployment is a WebGL file, which is actually a HTML page that Unity deploys for you, and you just have to probably publish it on GitHub or any other publishing page site, let's say Vercel or Heroku. Any of these could be used to just host that HTML app and the HTML, the WebGL deployment, and later on just purchase a domain and use it over there. For iOS, it gives you a program which you have to further deploy in Xcode. So for that, you need to have a MacBook, and from that, you get an iPhone supported application for even local testing. And I think again to publish to App Store, some procedure from Xcode goes forward. Again, this is not something which I've deployed in. I do know the whole step by step idea of how to deploy in iOS, but I've never published it anywhere. The only publishing that I've done is either WebGL deployment or um, publishing it in Play Store. So I used to be an augmented reality developer. I have one of the games still live in Play Store, and the other game actually had a lot of terminology mentioned on COVID, because of which they had to take it down. It was not. It was against Google's policy to mention anything which is not government license and has COVID related terms in it. So they didn't let us publish it. Like it was up for a week and they had to take that down. So that game is basically banned from Play Store now. That was one game which I built everything from scratch and deployed alone. And that was the one which actually got banned. So Unity is still getting installed. Um I don't know what else we can do. So this is actually the basic architecture and the publishing idea. If we Has anybody been successful till now to install Unity in their device? Unity Hub, Unity Editor, as well as like VS Code or anything that you have already for coding. I am hoping at least someone was able to do this, or probably the bandwidth is really, really low for everyone along with this stream. So this is where my screen is at this point. We are still at the same thing, progress 10 out of 12 completed. And I think, oh wait, is the installer waiting for, wow, the installer was waiting for me to just press on continue. And then we need Android NTK. I hope it gets installed really, really soon. And if it does, I'll give a basic idea of how to work with Unity. Otherwise, we'll have to carry it on in the next stream. But in the time being, folks, do you have any question about the game design or the software design that I talked about? Feel free to ask anything. None of the questions are silly. Nothing is too easy to understand. Anybody could have any sort of a genuine question, and I'll be happy to answer it for you. So just feel free to ask anything that you have in your mind. I don't think Android NTK deployment downloading should take a lot of time. I think I've talked about deployment quite a lot today. So anything I say ends up being deployment. I'll just try to browse some um, obstacles. Oh, wait, I did not share my screen again. Why do I keep doing that? Install completed. Okay, did that really happen? I hope it helps me create a new project. Fingers crossed it should work because we've literally installed a new editor. And if it doesn't, then it's the curse of live demos like we talked about. And we'll continue it in the next stream then. Okay. So let me just present the entire window, the entire screen for that one. I keep forgetting to add it to stage, and that's where the mess up happens. Um, let's just go back to the document where we have the entire design. Just sort this out a bit. So what I can do is I can share a drive link, just share the doc link with you all so that you can look into it later and realize the progress in whatever we do. We'll give you commenter access so you can keep asking questions in it as well. My Unity has a firewall that blocks anything related to games. Oh my god, they block everything including Unity. And using cellular data to install Unity is like a nightmare. I can, I sympathize for you a lot. I hope this opens up. Otherwise, folks will probably end this stream today itself, and like we end this stream in a couple of minutes, and I'll make sure that I set this up and we are up and running in the next stream and build the game. And if you have any questions about the design or anything, feel free to ask. I will go to Asset Store and look for more obstacles and stones or something which we can add. So when I searched for obstacles, there was an obstacle course as well. So let's say we are building that basic game where you have a simple ball rotating around everywhere. I think it was called. There was this. I don't know this gaming website. I was a kid and I used to play a lot of games in that one, which was not the best thing for me to do in my childhood. But I don't know the exact name. But there was this game called Red Ball, and it just used to move around and clear the entire obstacle course. So this is a very cool thing. This already has a lot of assets and obstacles set up for you. So for someone who's a beginner, can easily use this and build something fun. Um, let's just look for stones because if we have a track like this, we could have Friv. Yes, it was Friv. Oh my god, how do you remember that? I I remember it. I was a fan of Flip.com. I used to play a lot on it. Yes, yes, yes. It was Friv. It has changed quite a lot. It looked very very different back then. The UI has completely changed. Okay, so there I probably used this stone somewhere else before. I used to play that too. I mean, it, I have spent hours playing that game, so we'll use this as well for obstacles. And those construction cones, what do we call them? We'll just type construction cones and see. Yes. Free assets. I think yeah, this can be used too. I don't know if it will look well with the environment that we have. Yeah, tiny square tiles mini games. Exactly. That's the frame I remember. And there's one more construction pack, right? Industrial props kit. We'll keep all of these. Traffic cones, yes, thank you. I'm looking for construction cones. My word. Okay, yes, we found really well. These are paid with. I need free ones. Yes. I think colorful would look better. And if you actually go to this, there are a lot of things that we can use. There are concrete and plastic barriers, traffic cone and roadblock, and these could all be used as obstacles in a game. So I'll just store all of these with me here and use whichever one I want. And oh my god, the project is still not opening. I think there's something wrong with my system because we've installed a new editor. So there's definitely something wrong with the system. I probably look at it or install the entire process again. Fine. Okay, so the design doc is ready. We have the whole idea in our head and we know what to build. But folks, I think this will be the end of this stream, unfortunately, because Unity has been a major pain, and I'm really sorry for delaying this. Um, but again, I think even you all weren't able to download it. So at least in the next stream, all of us will have Unity working in our system. And luckily, we have three streams. So in the next two, we'll be able to build this game. And the doc is right here. I've shared it with all of you. So you can go and check with the design and make sure that you've registered and checked in because you've been here for almost 1.5 hours. So yeah, feel free to check in, and obviously this will earn you swags for this global hack week. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you in the next stream with an up and running Unity, and yeah, happy hacking. Bye. Okay, wait. Uh, Bye. Thank you.